Lack of good human connection can cause the biggest trauma to a human being.
Sophie Gregoire Trudeau has finally released her book on self-discovery and all that flowery language she uses, but she's done a ton of media in the last day. There's a lot to pick apart here, from her body language and the things she's saying. Watching one interview after another, she says the same things, but the way she says them, it's a little bit different, and it tells us a lot, not to mention just some straight up things she says about Justin. So the first clip here.
There's a lot of anger. There are a lot of people who have a lot of pain that they haven't dealt with at all. And in the book, you talk about the front row seat that you've had to online abuse and the hatred directed towards you and your family, in some case, very serious threats. How do you deal with that?
It's a process. I've seen also ministers and members of parliament receiving incredibly toxic and dangerous, I would say, hate speech.
So this is the only interview where she actually talks about this, with living with Justin Trudeau and all the hate that comes into the most hated man in Canada. And you could just see here in just what she said, like, it has been absolute hell for her living with Justin Trudeau and his policies and how he's ruined Canada.
All these people who send this hatred out into the world from a place of insecurity, you know.
So she just gets all fluffy and flowery with this, but let's just jump ahead.
To answer your question directly, I've had to do my own inner work to not feel overwhelmed by, you know, this negative toxicity.
It's interesting, just after watching so many of these interviews now, there's probably about 7 of them, and there's actually a few in French, which I had a friend translate some. This is the only one where she really speaks on this, but there's no doubt she's had to go through a lot of hell being with Justin Trudeau. Next clip, and all the other ones going forward are much more on the relationship and just her feelings. She tries to keep it a little bit vague, but you can tell who she's talking about when she's talking about a certain someone.
We're all one trauma away from each other. But when you start sharing your story, not only do you allow yourself to heal along your own path, but you allow the space for others to feel safe enough to share their story. And safety and security, on Abraham Maslow's pyramid of having a roof over your head and food on your table, if safety is not there, it's game over.
Look at the absolute trauma, the distress, the pain in this woman's face. I don't think it's been very cheery the last 8 years with Justin Trudeau. Who knows how many years going back, but even just the last 8, actually she says the last 10 years being on the campaign and being in politics has been rough. She says it in one of these interviews, but you can just see it in her face. She has had the life sucked out of her being with Justin Trudeau.
We human beings need to feel safe in our environment. And if that doesn't happen, we're in alert mode, in a really stressed, sympathetic nervous system mode. And it's very difficult to feel compassion for ourselves and for others. So look at the state of the world. And this is what...
After listening to all these interviews and the book stuff leading up to this, it seems some element she doesn't feel safe with him. And maybe that's directly because he's a complete loser that is causing so much suffering across Canada. And there's that just direct amount of hatred coming towards her that it has ruined her life. That's what it seems like to me. That's my interpretation, that his policies ruining Canada has directly caused her ungodly amounts of stress. But it also just seems like she just doesn't respect the guy anymore.
What the book is about is how to have more emotional leadership so we're not threatened by the difference of others.
There's a lot of talk about this emotional leadership, and she tries to puff it up flowery, making it seem like it's in general, but it just seems like she's always talking about Trudeau every time. So jumping ahead here in this same interview.
49, I took the world's perception and decided to leave it out the window and sit with my integrity and my truth, and knowing that was the best thing to do. But at the same time, I don't believe that we need to end a relationship in order to change its structure. I don't believe in that. I think society is telling us that success is marriage, divorce is failure. I don't accept that. From an emotional leadership perspective, 2 individuals, we still preserve the beauty of our relationship, Justin and I. We carry the love that we still have and respect for each other. And it doesn't have to mean that it's the end in itself. Why? The way we begin relationships should be reflected in the way we end relationships. And that to me is the biggest lesson, because it does take emotional maturity, patience, and unconditional love in some way, and we need it and others need it.
It's easy to say when you're the one leaving the relationship. Let's get real here. I mean, you've been with the surgeon for a year before you even announced it, living on the taxpayer dime, getting all the benefits. In general, I have heard of a couple situations where people split and it's mutual and have kids and it's mutual. But in general, one person leaves and the other person doesn't like it. And maybe because one person cheated or whatever it may be, it's usually not mutual. I can't imagine Justin Trudeau is feeling too good about you taking 40 or 50 or 60 million dollars, half of your guys' net worth, how many, whatever, tens of millions of dollars you guys are worth, and you're already shacked up with the surgeon, getting the full physical. I can't imagine him feeling too good about that. You can look through Justin Trudeau's photos throughout time. Let's just do it right now. His hair has changed and his beard and stuff, and it's really directly reflecting on his emotion going through this situation. We didn't know it at the time. We do now. So I believe it was this one here. So this one here, this is what Trudeau looked like before, and then this is what he looked like when he was going through the separation. We didn't know at the time. You know, he let his hair grow out, the beard. It's a direct reflection on how he was feeling. Here's another photo, and whether the ladies like it or not, this is typically not how he lets his hair grow out. He just doesn't always look like, he never looks like this. It's only this, it seemed this one time going through separation that he's allowed this this look to happen, which says something about him. It means he's not comfortable with this look. In general, he probably prefers this look. That's why he maintains that. Now, there was this look. We're not going to talk about this. It's Dumb and Dumber. This is hilarious.
Partnership throughout,
And then
especially when
the
it comes
kids
to
don't
the
suffer
kids.
as much if we dramatize everything.
Yeah. Well, I too am part of a blended family, and you both seem to really be putting the kids first. And
Absolutely.
the kids are going through a lot in the public eye. How do you deal with parenting them in a very specific circumstance?
You know, what people see from my life is the 2% that's out there. My real life is with the kids at home and the struggles.
She's in the bed with you before you get on television.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I keep it real, man. It's how I was raised. I just keep it real. I do the work of sitting with my truth. I think my kids feed off my...
Yeah, you've grown up in a very different life than everyone else pretty much in this country. Let's get real here. You're very spoiled. You've been married into a very, very rich family. You don't know what it's like to be a real Canadian in Canada. Let's just call it what it is. So moving on to the next interview here, we've got, oh wait, what's this? Oh, wait, who's holding hands here? Oh, this is, Melanie Jolie, okay, sorry, the wrong one. Wait, what do we got here? Sorry about this, guys. Oops, this gotta be, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Sorry about that. I didn't realize these were in here. If you're not familiar, this is the Minister of Affairs. Minister of Local Affairs. Minister of Foreign Affairs. Sorry about that. We got that a little bit messed up there. Let's move to the next one. There it is. Okay.
Human connection and lack of good human connection can cause the biggest trauma to a human being. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she talks a lot about this, like human touch and human need. And there's one clip here at the end. I'll get to it, but it's in French. But I had a friend translate where she basically says that she felt like she was basically alone for 9 years with Trudeau and raising their 3 kids. And he was gone from like 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. I get being a prime minister is a busy job, but you know, what could he be busy? What could he be busy with? I keep getting the wrong ones here.
You can have a big house with all the objects that you want and your accumulation of wealth is that if that's your dream, or you can be in a tent. If your nervous system as a human being is in alert mode, it's in alert mode.
Yeah.
The houses and the objects don't change anything.
Doesn't matter what's happening up.
Based off of neurobiology, yes, I agree, but this is a very bad take, Sophie. You can't be talking about people in tents when you're the one who has everything. You're going to be you're separated from now. You're going to be divorcing Justin, taking 40, 50, 60 million dollars. You're literally the one with the big house and everything. So let's just stay away from the tents with those analogies and saying people, because it's basically you're saying that they should be okay with living in their tent because it's just in their brain. Let me tell you, when your money starts dropping down and you don't have the money to actually just buy basic groceries, when oranges are too expensive, we have the rise of like scurvy and all sorts of diseases in this country because there's not enough money coming into people's bank accounts now because everything is too expensive. This is a bad take. She's disconnected from reality.
Without human connection, we see what we can become sick, and playfulness and having fun together, because self-discovery and facing our truths is painful, and we're not taught to sit with our pain without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, so she talks about this a lot. there's clearly she's gotten a lot of pain from Trudeau.
Now, this book, of course, Sophie, was written before your separation from the Prime Minister. But I wonder, the title is Closer Together. We know families come in all kinds of shapes and sizes these days. You speak still very fondly, of course, of Justin Trudeau as well. I wonder how your family is closer together while also there are parts of it that are apart in days. I wonder how that goes.
Beautiful question. Sometimes when you truly love somebody, you set them free somewhere on the path out of respect and admiration in different ways, even if it's not convenient. It's not my wish. It's not my wish. But when things change, it's not the end. We are taught that we have to slay a relationship in order to change its structure. We have to rise up to become more relationally and emotionally mature so we can actually get along together so much better so our children can see that dynamic.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. The beginning here, she says, when you truly love someone, you have to set them free. She's got the quivering in her voice. Based on her body language, how she sounds, it sounds very much like she loved Justin, and Justin moved on. Justin wasn't there for her. Justin abandoned her. Maybe Justin was busy doing something else. Who knows? What could have Justin been doing? I don't know. Oh, geez, what am I clicking? Oh, Justin could have been busy somewhere else doing something. We don't know. My take on it is I think she feels burned. I think she feels betrayed. Maybe she was cheated on. Who knows? Either way, her voice, it sounded like someone who is in pain, and not the source of the pain. They were the recipient of the pain. Who knows with these rich folk? Who knows what they get up to? Next up, I got some clips here in French. This one, for whatever reason, will not show on the screen. Either way, it doesn't matter. I was just going to read you guys what it said, because we can't understand it for most of us unless you speak French. And then after that, we've got a couple of clips here where she gets ripped by this Radio Canada news station. They just have fun mocking Sophie Trudeau. It's also in French, but we can break this down a bit. In that other clip, they asked her why she kept the Trudeau name. She says she kept it because people don't know who Sophie Gregoire is in other countries, and she wants the book to be more accessible. She wants people to have access to the book. Yeah, you want book sales. That's what you want. Just say it like that. You want book sales. But she did say she would have rather called it Sophie, period. That's it. The guy also asked her what her role in influencing Trudeau during the pandemic with the concept of authenticity. He asked if authenticity works with Justin, and she said authenticity always works with Justin, whatever that means. And as I mentioned earlier, she also said she didn't see him as he was in the office from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. as she had the 3 kids, and she had a lot of resentment for that. So moving on to this clip, we've got it subtitled here, so we'll just stop it a bit because this is actually quite hilarious. So first off, it says Sophie prefers to spread her neuroscientific culture. These people are just making fun of her.
Sophie, elle préfère étendre sa culture neuroscientifique
like jam
de la confiture sur le pain blanc de notre...
on the white bread of lack of culture.
Inculture. Fait qu'elle nous balance
So she throws at us in disorder.
dans le désordre une ratatouille.
A ratatouille of concepts, expressions, and formulas.
De concepts, d'expressions, de formules comme, attention, nourriture émotionnelle.
Like, be careful, emotional nourishment.
Régulation du système.
Regulation on the nervous system, ring of fire, homeostasis. She talks about going through the ring of fire and getting burned. There's a hodgepodge of scholarly interviews. The most deplorable thing, for example, is not Sophie. No.
Pas Sophie, non. C'est pas Sophie de la...
It's not Sophie, the girl who, by her own admission,
de son propre aveu, n'a jamais été...
was never the first lady. That's what she says.
Première dame, c'est qu'elle dit, je me suis jamais considérée
I never considered myself first lady.
comme première dame. Et qui, elle, considère que la
And who considers that the separation with Justin is
séparation avec Justin, c'est pas un échec, non.
not a failure. It's a corporate restructuring.
C'est une restructuration d'entreprise.
I don't know if that's the auto translate messing that up. That's hilarious. Yes, that's what she said to everybody. Everybody talks about it.
Restructuration, c'est vraiment...
Restructuring. It's really a language. That's a funny interview. I wish that was in English because that's a hoot just looking at that in French. Next up, we've got Justin Trudeau's ego, Minister of Affairs, Melanie. It's funny, he's the same joke. Minister of Affairs Melanie Joly and I are enjoying our taxpayer-funded summer vacation by taking in the sunshine in the park in Quebec. As foreign minister, part of my job is to have picnic dates in Canada for Saint Jean-Baptiste Day. I'm definitely still married to Sophie. Look at this. Oh, just a couple of kids in love. Look at them. Look at that big cheese bucket smile we all hate. So greasy. This doesn't look romantic at all. Minister of Marital Affairs. So over on X here, we've got a bunch of funny things here. We got some Trudeauing. That's Trudeauing at its best. Just change that D into an A plus.
Hail Trudeau! Hail Trudeau! Hail Trudeau! Hail Trudeau! Hail Trudeau! Hail Trudeau!
That's an odd-shaped potato. It's a dictator. Toss Macron salad. These whiteboard memes are hilarious. Arranged marriage so I don't appear gay. I bet that would actually work for improving guys' aim. How to crash an economy with no waterball thingy. That waterball clip was classic. I'm a liar, I'm a liar. And finally, one last one what we got here. I'm with stupid. Sophie Trudeau. Seems like she was put through the ringer there with Trudeau. It seems like she was abandoned and he was not there. And he was probably out having fun, just having a good time at work, late hours. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think happened between Justin and Sophie. Do you think Justin was maybe spending a little extra hours at work when maybe he didn't need to? Because it doesn't seem to be giving us any sort of benefit here for his long hours at work. So let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate all of you. Turn on the bell notification so you get notified of all my videos. We'll keep fighting for freedom. We'll keep having some laughs while we're at it. I'll see you guys in the next one.